Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Well, it's starting to look more and more as if we are detecting what many scientists are starting to believe are alien signals being passed around between star systems. Now, if you remember, we posted a video a week or two ago talking about this new finding, where a group of scientists and astronomers began looking at and collecting data on over 2.5 million stars. And when they got all this data back, they found some very strange behavior that was occurring with a certain number of these stars, 234 stars to be exact. Out of this 2.5 million, they detected these strange signals or modulations moving back and forth between this group of 234 different stars. Almost as if you would think of radio transmissions bouncing off of radio towers, moving from one tower to the next and back again. And it was very strange, because it was just this small group, this very small group of a little over 200 stars out of 2.5 million, where the study found, and by the way, these modulations were very specific in their words. The modulations were specific, but also similar to one another, and they weren't sure what was causing it. Well, we have some new information today that has come out that, and by the way, it's kind of shocking to hear these scientists behind this study coming out and actually stating that these signals are likely alien in nature. And that's what they've said. So according to these new reports, the search for an explanation of these signals has led the paper's authors to conclude that these are likely coming from an extraterrestrial source. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen this well-known internet meme from the big-haired ancient aliens guy saying, "I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens." And that is actually very fitting to this story, because now we actually have scientists who are basically repeating the same thing. And, well, here's what they said. They said, and I quote, "We find that the detected signals have exactly the shape of an extraterrestrial intelligence signal predicted in the previous publication and are therefore in agreement with its hypothesis. The fact that they are only found in a very small fraction of stars within a narrow spectral range centered near the spectral type of sun is also in agreement with the ET hypothesis." This coming from Ermanno Bora and Eric Tradier from Laval University in Canada, who are the authors of the paper. Now, the previous publication that they are talking about was some work that was done by Mr. Bora, where they were predicting the shape of the signals that an extraterrestrial civilization might use to alert others of their existence. And apparently, these new 234 signals match perfectly that prediction. And they've actually published a new paper entitled, and I kid you not, quote, "Signals Probably from Extraterrestrial Intelligence." And this publication is coming out in Publications of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. Now, of course, the authors of this new publication are very aware that there is a lot of work to be done and that bold statements like this require evidence. So, the hypothesis is out there, and it is being taken very seriously by many in the scientific community. An organization called the Breakthrough Listen Initiative, which is an organization that was established this year to look for alien life, with which Stephen Hawking and Mark Zuckerberg are among its board members, also finds this evidence very promising. So yeah, there you have it. The authors of this study publishing this new paper entitled "Signals Probably from Extraterrestrial Intelligence." I mean, it doesn't get any more clear than that. And this very well could become our first piece of evidence that there are alien civilizations out there using these signals as a beacon for other civilizations to discover them, or at least to communicate back and forth between star systems. So, in this case, we're not saying it's aliens, but we're saying it's probably aliens. So very cool And it's awesome that we're now starting to have scientific data backing up all of the theories and the hypothesis and the predictions that researchers like us have made over the years. It's good to have corroborating data that will further put to rest the trolls and the haters and the skeptics who think we're all a bunch of tinfoil hat-wearing nut jobs, which we're not. We are a growing, huge community with millions upon millions of people all over the world who are finally opening their eyes, so very exciting. Now, another update to the recent crash, or well, disappearance, of the ExoMars lander. If you remember the other day, we were talking about the European Mars lander that was set to land on the surface, and the signal was lost about a minute before it was to land on the Martian surface. So the signal was lost. They had no idea what had happened to it. There was a lot of speculation as to what caused the lander to disappear, whether NASA may have had their hand in the crash, and at least now we know for sure what happened to the lander, and it smashed into the Martian surface. You're seeing some brand new satellite images of the crash site here. You're seeing the before and after, and you'll notice this big black indentation on the Martian surface, which is exactly where the lander crashed. They are saying at this point that it looks as if the descent engines shut off a little bit too early, which sent the lander into a free fall from about a mile or more up, and it hit the surface going at around 180 miles per hour with a full tank of fuel, no less, before plowing into the ground. So there was no doubt this massive explosion. We see what looks like the after effect of this explosion. We see this large black charred area, and then we also see this white reflective object a couple hundred meters away, which they're saying it could be the parachute from the lander. They're not completely sure yet, but it does match the size of the parachute. I don't know, this object looks really reflective, but yeah, the question is still there. What happened to the lander? Was there sabotage involved? There's a lot of speculation about NASA and how they didn't want anyone else to have a lander on Mars, no less a lander that was designed to discover alien life. And so they somehow took it out, sabotaged it, whatever you want to call it, but obviously just speculation, no proof whatsoever. And yeah, $1 billion down the drain. However, they still do have a probe that is orbiting Mars, but yeah, this is a devastating blow for the search for alien life. Who knows when we'll get another lander like this out there that, again, was specifically created to detect past alien life on Mars. So, on to some new UFO footage. The first of which is of another unidentified object seen over the Colima volcano, which is in Mexico, of what looks like a very large black saucer-shaped object speeding by. This was captured on a webcam. Here you're seeing the original video, and again, it's a webcam, so it's not a fluent video, but nonetheless, we see this object, which definitely holds this sharp saucer shape to it. It doesn't change shape or really blur, kind of like you would think with a bird, a helicopter, a plane. Whatever this thing is, it holds this saucer, 1950s era saucer shape. And another thing is just how dark it is. I mean, this thing is jet black. Even with the sun shining down, the thing is completely black. You are seeing some filtered versions here that were sent over by a buddy of mine who runs the Finding UFO YouTube channel. He does great work, another UFO researcher. Be sure to check out his channel down below. And yeah, we have some different views here, different color filters, and you just watch as this thing blasts by. And it's certainly not the first time we have seen these UFOs. You guys know, we've talked about this many times. These UFOs have been they're attracted almost to these volcanoes all over the world. And it reminds me of that Star Trek film where they go to this primitive alien planet, and they send a spacecraft down into the volcano where they're going to detonate this device that will freeze the inside of the volcano and prevent it from erupting and destroying the entire planet. So, and we've seen that happen on Earth. We've seen these UFOs entering, flying down into the volcanoes, and moments later exiting out the mouths of the volcano and blasting towards space. Here is another very famous UFO sighting that again was captured on a webcam over this very same volcano, where we had this sort of horseshoe-shaped UFO. I mean, it was definitely nothing natural. Kind of spooky looking, if you ask me. And it was just kind of seen hovering near the volcano before disappearing. So again, interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Another strange sighting I want to show you guys before we end today's video comes to us in a photograph that was sent over by a Mr. Steve Gray, who took this picture outside of his office in Hampshire, England. And he noticed this strange object that was moving through the skies. He said he was in his office, so I'm guessing he was working, saw this thing floating by, decided to take a quick picture, later on was going through his photos, found it. At this point, he had learned about our channel, so he sent it over. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in here and try to figure out what this thing is. So here's a close-up shot, and we can definitely see that this is, it's an object. You can see from where the sun is, it's coming down, and we see the sun reflecting off of a portion, but the backside of the object is completely in shadow. And then we see this smaller object down below it, but it definitely doesn't look connected to the larger object. And this doesn't look like your typical balloon, doesn't look like your typical drone, airplane, helicopter, even a hot air balloon. It doesn't look like. It's just... There's no shape that I could link this to that would give us an idea, or at least something to compare it to. So very strange. Anyone over Hampshire, England, see this thing or get some video, be sure to send it over. I'd really appreciate it. Now, before we end today's video, I want to show you something really cool, and we actually mentioned this, I think it was right at the beginning of October, where I was showing you guys this really cool holographic style LED alien head lamp that I had found being sold online. It's like an optical illusion alien head hologram lamp, and so I found it, I ordered it, and I have been waiting almost a month for this thing to ship from China. I guess it took the slow boat over or something, but it finally arrived yesterday. Here is the lamp. I've situated it on top of the subscriber ticker box here, just to sort of complete the altar. And man, you think this thing looks cool in the pictures and the video, wait till you have one of these in your house. This thing is awesome. You can change it to 5 or 6 different colors, as well as set it to where it morphs in between each color over and over. So it's really awesome. You're seeing some video and images of that here, and the thing is just awesome. And I couldn't be happier with it. It's got a USB plug that you can either plug into your computer or into an adapter that plugs into your wall outlet. When you have all the lights off, man, this thing, it's just badass. So if you guys want to check out one for yourselves, I'll put the link to this. You can find it on Amazon. I'll put that down in the video description. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And I guess they make them where you can get other things besides the alien head. So it's really, really cool. Just plan on waiting about 3 or 4 weeks before it arriving. So awesome stuff. Big thanks to the viewers who showed this thing to me in the first place. I'm happy you did. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything we've spoken about today. We're getting closer and closer to discovering alien life. We have these signals being detected from these 234 stars. It's just very exciting times, and there's nothing better than to be the operator of a channel like this during a time that is filled with such mystery and excitement. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for stopping by. We will be holding the drawing for the new microphone within the next couple of days, so look out for that as well. Hit that like button on your way out, and I'll see you guys back real soon. Stay safe, guys.